When I first moved to New York City, I quickly learned that it was Houston Street, not Houston Street, and that you stand online, not in line. But after being in Las Vegas for nearly 3 years, I feel like I haven't gotten a beat on what it takes to sound like a true Las Vegan. Is it all in the hella? Today on CityCast Las Vegas, longtime local artists Brent, Holmes, and Justin Favela give me the insider tips on how to sound like a bona fide local. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. All right, Brent and Justin, welcome.
Howdy.
Hi.
So, New York has Houston Street. San Francisco has Gough Street. None of those are pronounced how they're spelled. So what are some of the place names here that will mark someone as an outsider instantly when they pronounce it wrong? Help me out.
I mean, you can start right with the state name, right? Nevada versus Nevada. You can't get any more outsidery than coming in and saying, yeah, we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that's it. I know you're not from around here then.
Yes, historically, this being political season, this has been a big mistake when politicians have rolled through and mispronounced the name of Nevada. So how does it make you feel inside when someone says Nevada instead of Nevada?
Have you ever seen Kill Bill?
Yes.
You know, like when they just black out and it's just a it's just a red flag. It's just a red flag.
And is it just like an internal and like gritting of teeth, or are you like, actually, it's Nevada? That's not your voice, Justin. That's my voice.
I don't know about Justin, but I'm not like a corrector, right? We don't I'm just like, you did it wrong. Now I know. Goodbye, sir. I don't know.
I don't know. I just don't trust the person. I see them as an uncultured person. And you know, them, their ancestors, their future generations. Like, if you're gonna come to my state and try to get my vote, do the minimal research.
Listen, Justin, as a Spanish speaker, do you have any feels on like, shouldn't it be like Nevada?
Sure, if you're speaking Spanish, yes, say Nevada. That's how you say it. Las Vegas, Nevada is all Spanish. So if you're speaking Spanish, sure, but it just depends on the context, right? And, you know, I was joking a little about all that violence I just said, but like, I try not to correct people anymore because I do know that it just depends on how long you've been in Vegas that you realize that maybe it's not the right way to say certain things. But, you know, I'll go to other places, you know, like New York, like Texas, like California, and people immediately correct me when I say the names of streets wrong. Or even, you know, chuckle. So it's like, okay, well, we have one thing, you know, we can just hold on to that.
You know, I had this, the first time my mom came and visited, we had this heated discussion because she was like, well, it should be Nevada because it's a Spanish word. But ironically, she lives in Medina, Ohio, which is spelled like Medina. And you would only know to pronounce it as Medina if you lived there. So this is something we like do as Americans. And of course, like language is always changing. We're always taking these words. And yeah, sure, the word is Nevada, but like the place is Nevada. And it had a different name before Spanish colonials came in too.
It's a colloquial pronunciation, right? So it's important to jive with that.
We talked about this on a previous episode, which we will link to in the show notes with UNR linguist Valerie Friedland. And it's this idea that like if you can't pronounce it, it's like a password almost to enter the state. I mean, we let people in, but we won't listen to you. Like for me, my hearing just kind of shuts down after they say Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big one. That's the big shibboleth here.
Are there others? Are there other place names that we need to know how to pronounce?
I would say it's anybody that it's usually the street names. And because most of the major street names are old casinos, there's just a way you pronounce Sahara, for example. You don't say Sahara, right? So you can always tell. That's a big one for me, Sahara. Or people that will just say Desert Inn instead of DI, you know, sometimes you could kind of tell because that's just like a shortcut or a nickname for it.
You got like McCloud and McLeod, and it's McCloud, but it's definitely spelled McLeod.
Well, that's just an Irish pronunciation too, but I guess, yeah, we could say McLeod, but it does sound a little ridiculous, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like the way McLeod sounds better than McLeod, but nobody's going to know what street you're talking about if you tell them that. Yeah, I was on Flamingo and McLeod. They're going to go where? I
would think that you were having some sort of aneurysm.
No,
if you said that you were going to McLeod Street.
No, I mean, I understand that like everybody make words different. Yes, we good at them.
Are there other place names? Like we can go broader in Southern Nevada too that we should know about. We can talk flora, fauna, geographical features. I mean, this one is as a food historian. This is a little bit like, what do you call the local plant that puts up a stalk of white flowers?
The yucca?
Yes. People I've noticed, especially outsiders, really confuse it with yucca, which is a totally different plant, right? Yucca is a tuber that you fry and eat like French fries or mash it up. And yucca is the local plant, which is also edible. The stalks, I think every part of it, but the flowers and the stalks most commonly. But two totally different plants. So people question the pronunciation, but it's just two different things. Here is yucca. The French fry tuber is yucca.
I really appreciate that as someone with a great deal of culinary love, because there was a point in my life where those two pronunciations were confusing. And I was like, wait, are they the same thing? Is this just the
root
primary,
of this thing?
The root of that thing? Because, and then I had to learn myself some facts.
Okay, so you're driving to LA and you pass by the exit for that road that is only made up of the last three letters of the alphabet. What is it called?
Zzyzx Road.
Fight.
Zzyzx.
Zzyzx or Zzyzx?
Zzyzx. Interesting.
Zzyzx.
I've never said that.
I always say Zzyzx, but I'm an overpronouncer too, and I have that weird East Coast New Jersey thing where there's some things that just need to be pronounced in an obnoxious manner. So like Zzyzx is fine. Zzyzx is fine. I say Zzyzx every time.
Okay, what about I'm driving north to Tonopah and I like to stop off and see the semi-tame burros. What is that place called?
Beatty.
Oh, Beatty. Yeah, Beatty versus Beatty, right?
Beatty, yeah.
I'm still not sure. I say both just to cover my ass because I'm not sure.
Okay, gents, sound off on some other place names that I should know how to pronounce.
Tule Springs is a great one because it looks like Tool Springs, but it's Tule. We're going to accentuate that E for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, and then like places like Ely, for example, because they look like Eli. There's a lot of Mormon influence. So a lot of the places are actually like proper names of like Mormon families that are said a certain way. And so we kind of pronounce it how they do, like Panaca, Pioche, Ely, Beatty, right? So it's kind of like San Pedro, California, right? It's so wrong, but they've just been saying it that way for so long, just like the street names. And then also, I feel like Vegas, depending on what part of town you're in, like if I say the east side, everybody understands what the east side is. But if you say the west side, it's like, okay, are you talking about the historic west side or do you live like in Spring Valley, right? And so it all depends on that. So you can always tell when somebody's new when they're like, oh yeah, I live downtown. Or, if they still call the arts district, because there's no art actually there right now.
There's no art in the arts district, the beer district is better.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's our microbrewery district.
Hi, I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast. The best way to learn a language is immersion, living where the language is spoken and using it every day. That's how I learned French as a kid. But if that's not in the cards for you this year, you can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel. I live in a city with a huge immigrant population. You probably do too. And in my hometown, a lot of my new neighbors speak Spanish as a first language, and we have lots of great Mexican and Central American and South American restaurants and stores. I wanted to be able to communicate just a little bit better with some of my neighbors. So I started with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. And after just a few extremely enjoyable weeks learning Spanish with Babbel. I've already gotten comfortable ordering at a restaurant and eavesdropping on my girlfriend's conversations with her mom. Look, learning a language isn't always easy, but with Babbel, it is fun and it feels useful, basically immediately. That's why Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold. Plus, all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited-time deal for CityCast listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
You probably know that spam, the kind everyone hates, that makes it past the filters in your inbox or even into sneaky fake text messages, starts with your personal data being sold. But of course it does. Apparently, every day, data brokers collect and sell your personal information to third parties. This means your address, phone numbers, health and financial records, even your social security number is out there for the taking. These insights are then used by scammers, total strangers, insurance companies, banks, and other businesses to target you. That's where Incogni comes in. Incogni scrubs your personal info from the web. Simple as that, and it only takes 3 minutes to set up. They tackle 180 plus data brokers and people search sites, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your data, your time, and your sanity. Go to Incogni.com and use the code CityCast for a 55% off their annual plan. That's spelled out INCOGNI.com.
Well, let me change gears for a second here. Do you think that Las Vegans have an accent?
Okay, so for me, so I was born and raised in Las Vegas. So technically, I have a Las Vegas accent, but I do feel like it's very influenced by Southern California, SoCal. It's also, I feel like there's a lot of influence from Texas and from other states that are nearby in the Southwest. I hear it too when I go to places like New Mexico. It's very influenced by Spanish, but also all of the other colonial factors here in Nevada, like I mentioned Mormons before. And so I think there is a bit of a Southern or like cowboy twang to the way that we speak, because we're proud of being in the West here.
I think the Vegas accent exists. I think it's subtle. I would tend to agree with Favi that there's definitely kind of a nuanced twang in there, but it's really, really light. And it also has those weird, entertainment influences, coming from my family's background and my media background in general. You can hear a little bit of Chicago, New York in there in some of the enunciations and pronunciations, because some of the phrases that were introduced to the culture were introduced by people from those communities. So it has an effect.
Now that you mention it, I do hear a lot of Southern California, like a little bit of uptalk, but also like a little bit of surfer boy. But like there's a lot less vocal fry in the Las Vegas accent for sure. But there's some of that pattern and up and down of speaking. I've been trying to nail the accent for a while. I know it's there, but I haven't quite been able to pick out the elements too. Okay, so to complete my transformation, what about like turns of phrases or nicknames? Favi, you got into some of them with the different street names. Is there like certain vocab or slang that you would use here or that you would never use here?
I mean, never call the strip downtown. That's the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
People always say that.
People
I'm
are very confused about
girl,
that.
You don't know. Like, that's not downtown at all. But of course, there's like, a lot of our families work in casinos here, right? So like, the graveyard shift instead of like the night shift, right? Or today is my Friday.
You would say the graveyard shift?
You would say the graveyard shift, or you would say, or you would say today is my Friday, or on my Monday I'm going to go do this. And everybody kind of just understands like, you got to make sure you ask what days people have off, because nobody really has the weekends off here if you work in a casino, unless you've been working for the casino for like 20 years,
Yeah. It's a hospitality industry. So, it's not a 9 to 5. What about you, Brent? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think there's there are those industry standard phrases also in how we kind of communicate. We use terms like 86th. Comp is really common. Like, everybody's looking for, to get in the back door. So, you get comp for that. I don't think most people talk about that when they're going to a concert or an event or a show. Right. So those are kind of terms of phrase that are pretty distinct to this city. Right.
So for listeners who might not know, can you use 86th in a sentence, please?
Oh, yeah. You got 86th from the club last night. You got kicked out. You were removed. He got 86 from the club, and he was comped in too. So I mean, I don't see how it's a losing deal, but
yeah. We're a car town. We're a driving town. Has our road design, our car culture influenced the way we talk too?
Okay, I have a question about U-turns. Because we have always called it, me and my friends here in Vegas have always called it flipping a bitch.
Yes.
I have heard that, yes.
And I'm wondering if that's regional because I said that one time in DC, I think, and they're like, what are you talking about?
No, anyone can correct me, but out east you pull a Yui. But you pull a Yui.
I mean, maybe I've just lived on the West Coast too long, but I feel like I've been saying flip a bitch my entire life. I'm a flip a bitch. What? No, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Can I ask you guys a survey? Is Hella dead? I'm not saying Hella is not part of the regional.
Do you think it is, or do you think it was
dialogue,
stolen from California?
I never hear Hella. Well, even if it was taken from California, which I don't. I think it. Okay, I think maybe if Hella was born in California, it grew to full maturity, withered, and then died in Las Vegas.
It feels very 90s and early 2000s to me. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, we used to say that all the time. Hella. And it has changed. I grew up around a lot of skateboarders, and so they all sounded kind of like surfers, and Hella was definitely in the vernacular. And so but I don't know what the kids are saying nowadays. And
this is interesting. Out east, hella was a descriptor. Like, it's hella this, it's hella big, it's hella long, it's hella far. It's not just like, say it how you said it again.
Oh, hella. Yeah. I mean, it could mean yes. It depends.
Yeah, it's an affirmative.
It's an affirmative as well. Yeah.
It means very out east.
Yeah, it can mean
it can be that too. Yeah. Oh, it's hella hot outside right now.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay, actually, speaking about sayings out east, I was a longtime New Yorker, so I picked some of my 3, maybe 4 favorite sayings here, and I'm just curious if there's a Las Vegas equivalent that I can replace them with. So let me know if there is or isn't. My favorite New York phrase is "fuck out of here." Fuck out of here. It kind of means, it can be angry. It can be like literally like get out of here. But it can also be like if someone's telling you an unbelievable story, you're like, fuck out of here. I find it efficient and lovely. Do you have something that you would replace that with?
Sarah, we must never replace fuck out of here. I don't care where you are continentally, socially. Fuck out of here is universal.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. All right, good. That's a relief. What about forget about it? Which again, it's more of a like, don't worry about it. What do you say here?
No worries. It's cool. More West Coast. You're getting into like,
Yeah, and like for all the girls and gays out there, we kind of sound like Valley girls sometimes too. Like, shut up or get out, like it's the same kind of,
stop? Is that appropriate? Like as in a stop? Okay,
yeah,
great.
Exactly. Stop, yeah.
Okay. What about, this is a little bit of a Yiddish phrase that's kind of gone into the vernacular, from your mouth to God's ears. Like, as in, like, I hope let's all hope this happens.
That's a classic.
All right, I'm bringing it west then.
I mean, but like the crappy West Coast is manifesting, right? Is like, I'm like manifesting. Like, I hope you're manifesting with those words, bro. And then but like, you got to be at a table with like a bunch of horrendously narcissistic white people usually for that.
Okay, one for you, Brent. Give me a bacon, egg, and cheese.
A bacon, egg, and cheese, a Taylor ham? What?
Well, like, what is our iconic food that we could order here? You walk into a bodega, they're going to say, "What do you want, boss?" And you're going to say, "Give me a bacon, egg, and cheese." What do we say here?
Ooh. I mean, within context, I'm a breakfast burrito man. That's certainly the West Coast answer to that same issue. Fabi?
I think it's con todo here, because anywhere you go, they ask you con todo, like, do you want sour cream, onion, cilantro on it, con todo. I think that's that's the bacon, egg, and cheese here. Yeah, with everything. Yeah.
Okay, based on everything else, I thought I had this question answered, but Justin is the one who just threw it through a loop. Like, is Las Vegas a West Coast town or a Southwest town?
We're a Southwest town.
Southwest.
But all the other answers, you were like, well, this is like the West Coast equivalent. You'd say manifest. You'd say this.
Yeah.
So what makes us Southwest?
The attitude, the sensibility. I don't know if it's going to be found in verbiage. I think it's going to be found in, we have that, like, we got a little grit, under our fingernails, which is just not a West Coast vibe, right? We got to dig through the caliche, as they say. It's
that's the problem with caliche. That's the known problem with caliche. You cannot dig through it.
Yeah, I think it's the Californians that live here that kind of outweigh it and like make you feel like everybody's from the West Coast. But I would consider it, Southwest. Yeah, for sure.
And is it Vegas or is it Las Vegas?
Oh,
that's tough.
I think casually it's Vegas, but you would say, actually, I travel so much that I actually have to say Las Vegas, Nevada, because a lot of people ask me Las Vegas, New Mexico, and
oh my God, there's a Nevada, Iowa, and it's Nevada.
Nevada, Iowa.
Yeah. No, it's not even Nevada. It's Nevada. Yeah, I know. Wild. Okay, just for funsies to wrap us up here, if you were going to vent your very own Vegas shibboleth, so like a word that indicates the in and out of Las Vegan culture, what would it be?
Oh, I'm going to take it back. I would show them... I guess it would just be a history test as well. I would show them Liberace's name spelled out and see how they say it.
Ooh.
You're just going to have it on a card and hand it to someone before you start talking to them?
Yeah.
Liberace.
Please pronounce this
Liberace.
word. Oh my God. Versace, baby. Maybe that's it, honestly.
Versace. I would take Versace as a shibboleth, as an identifier that you've watched Showgirls more than 5 times and... really are part of the lifeblood of the city at this point.
So good. I think mine is that a local who's on a plant-based diet is a Las Vegan.
Las Vegan.
Wow. Las Vegans. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you too. Okay, I do feel educated, and I think the key for me is just going to be to say everything with extreme confidence, especially con todo. That's it. That's all I need.
Contoro.
Thanks so much, Brent and Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
That's all for today here in CityCast Las Vegas. Hey, if you want to know more about the shibboleth, we put the link to that episode in our show notes. And if you like this show, you should definitely send it to a newbie so they don't embarrass themselves. While you're at it, please leave us a review and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.